Welcome back to another show of Dino Under the Bonnet, or Under the Bonnet with Dino, whichever way suits best for you. So, this week, Dino investigates where should you buy your dream classic or modern classic. Real stories, real restorations, real advice from someone who's lived it and living it. Hi there. And welcome back to Dino Under the Bonnet. I'm Dino, and after decades of in and out of the motor trade, today I'm investigating one of the biggest questions in the classic and modern classic car world. Where should I buy my dream or classic? Where should I sell my car? Right, so let's go through these. I'll start with, should you buy privately or should you buy from a dealer? Should you buy from a traditional auction or should you buy from someone online? One of those ever popping up, what do you call it? The ever popping up auction sites. They're popping up everywhere and everybody's trying to cash in on them. So, how do you avoid making the biggest financial mistake of your motoring life? I thought about this question and thinking about it, the car that you buy or invest in is going to be probably the second largest investment that you make. So it has to be after a house, unless it's the other way around, which in many cases is a great thing to do, or has been a great thing to do. And if you've worked hard all your life and you've financially saved enough money to buy your dream car, this podcast can genuinely save you thousands of parts. Parts? You could save thousands of parts, but let's look at it this way. I'm hoping to save you thousands of pounds. Diction today, Mr. Carnier. So the biggest mistake people make. The biggest mistake I see isn't buying the wrong car. It's becoming emotionally attached to it too early. The minute somebody sees a car that they've always dreamed of, it's an emotional thing, and common sense disappears. They're imagining driving it home, they're imagining polishing it, they're imagining taking it to shows, if that's what floats your boat. And what they're not imagining is what underneath. And always remember, fall in love after you've inspected the car. Now, that is not pre-words for marriage or going out with your partner. No. You should take your heart out of the equation first, because that's the biggest thing. We had a gentleman that came into the lab not so long ago, and he'd bought a recreation Eleanor, and many of you will know Eleanor as in the Fast and Furious. And what a car this was. I'm not a fan of American cars. Now, I'm going to upset many people out there. I think they're big, noisy, and quite unreliable in general. And it's a bit like all American cars. I know I'm going to get into big trouble for this now, as I've got quite a few listeners from America and Canada, so apologies. But that's how I feel. And I've seen an awful lot of cars come through the door being American. And this car was just... Let me tell you why. The gentleman who bought it, he loved Fast and Furious. Fair enough. interesting film. I like it too. And it was the noise that attracted him to it. And honestly, I tell you this, when the chap started the car, I was sat just at reception, just looking out there. And then all of a sudden, the noise just went through me, and it was like the machine was burbling away. Now, I don't have a monitor or anything like that, a heart monitor. No, don't have one of those. But I felt it. It just reverberated around me. And that is what sold it for him. And I can understand that. I can. And that's what petrol heads are all about. But the one thing that you do have to take care of is what it. Oh, by the way, my ears nearly bled, and there was two. There was a switch on and off for noise, so loud or bleeding loud. And I could see why why he bought it, but there was too much power. You were going to slip the clutch all the time, and the clutch would burn. Oh, I can see why somebody would want to buy that, and it's like when you've seen a film and you want it, and you think, yeah, I've got to have one of those. I remember seeing Nicolas Cage in a film, a Ferrari 550, and I went to see one. As I thought, oh, I love a Ferrari. I've never had one. I've missed out on many. Excuse me, by the way, if you think I'm struggling with my voice, I am today, because it's 35 degrees in the studio and it's absolutely boiling. Sorry, I digress. So, buying privately. I think this is really good because you get to see who the customer is, who's selling it, and how many cars they've owned, and you can listen to the noise, go and search every single invoice, and the way somebody presents all that information and what they've done to the car and the history behind it. You can look at the MOTs. I think that's really good, but the investigation that Dino has done, if I'd grown my moustache, I could have been a bit more Poirot. But I think I'd like to think of myself today as Columbo. Yes. So, would you drive the car across Europe tomorrow? It's a really good question. Do you think you could get around Europe in it? Has it ever had an accident? Can I inspect it on a lift? I don't think so. And unless you have one handy, no. And I would suggest that you should have an independent inspection. And if somebody says, they're starting to be really awkward about this, walk away. And if the deal is too good to be true, walk away. There's usually a reason for it. The biggest factor that you do encounter is that how much legal protection do you have? And you have virtually nothing. So it's buyer beware. So buying from a dealer, yeah, that's a great one. We don't sell cars, or do we? We will be selling a couple later on, but I'll tell you more about that on the later shows. And you'll probably pay more, but what you're paying for is preparation, reputation, and experience. after sales support, you do get 6 months warranty. It's the law. I have read recently that it could possibly go up to 2 years. So keep your eye open for that because it's very good. And what you can do is, and not many people know this, prior to 6 months, if it doesn't work out for you, you can actually go back and say, sorry, I don't like it for X, Y, or Z. So you must remember to read the small print. And many dealers sort of push you into, oh, why don't you get a warranty? Now, oh, warranties, detail. The devil is in the detail, and it certainly is in this case. Um, I I'm in two minds about this. Warranty companies obviously don't like to pay out because it's going to cost them an awful lot of money. So be wary of signing up for a warranty because the dealer is meant to offer you the 6 months, and then if everything goes okay, fine, all right, have a warranty, but buy well. Classic cars, they're a tricky one to engage warranties, purely because of the age, and there's so many pitfalls there. But you do get at least 6 months from a dealer where you don't have with a private buyer. Buying at auction. Now, I've bought things and I've missed things. Do you know, one of the there's two auctions that spring to mind, or one in particular, and it was in Brighouse of all places, and this goes back about 15 years ago, but it still haunts me. So I remember being at Brighouse and a non-starter came, which was it was bizarre because it was just, I'd gone there with my dad and we were just looking at cars that came through, and a yellow Dino was coming through as a non-starter. It sold for 30,000, and the reason why it was a non-starter, who cares, really? Looking back, who cares? Yellow is the correct color, by the way, for a Ferrari, and that'll get people upset again. So sorry about that. But I wish I'd have bought it. All it was is a battery. I wish I would have bought it full stop, purely because it says Dino on. A bit ostentatious, I guess, because Dino is my name, and I would have it on the badge. Perhaps a badge is cheaper. Right, sorry. Back to auction. So people get carried away when the hammer falls and everybody claps and you bought your dream car. Or have you? Not quite. So, for example, and I'm just generalizing here, just to give you an example. So the classic car costs 40,000. The hammer price was knocked down at 40,000. You've got buyer's premium. Normal auction houses, 12 to 15% plus VAT on the premium, and that could easily add up to £5,000 or £6,000. Depending on the auction house, I have seen 5% and I have seen nothing. But at the other end, the seller coughs up. There's many ways to hide it, but in the end, you're going to be paying extra. So, but you do get some great deals. You do get some really unique cars, and that's why sometimes that they're sent to auctions. But don't forget, you've got transport, insurance, bit of fuel, storage if you need to collect it quickly, and that's before you've even driven it. So, who made the money? The seller, the auction house, or you? Combination of everything. So the next one is online auctions. I see so many online auctions just springing up here and there. Everybody's competing. You've obviously got the big ones. You have eBay, and where you can see that you've got Facebook Marketplace. I know my general manager doesn't like Facebook Marketplace. I quite like it. But you do have to sift out so many people and why they're selling it. But you can do your checks prior. If you have the number plate, if you've got that, then you can do the MOT checks. So it's a starter, and obviously who's had it, blah 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 blah. So all that can be achieved, but online auctions, they're not bad. Companies such as Collecting Cars have completely changed the market. Personally, going to upset people. I think it's not quite there for classic cars. Um, Obviously, they have a reserve price, and you see it going up. And when it goes green, then reserve is off, and it's to be sold. Obviously, there is always deals to be done as well in the background, because their idea is to sell your car, which is good, and they want the buyer to buy it. So they may, and I have heard this, and I've actually done this with them. You can do a deal after if it didn't sell, and they're saying, look, we if we take off half our commission, there is many ways to do a deal, especially in this climate. Auction houses are prepared to do deals, and that's how they survive. If they don't sell a car, there's no point. So you have a worldwide audience. You have very detailed descriptions, excellent photography. It's very convenient. But remember, you're still buying largely from photographs. Never assume shiny paint means a good car. You've got to look at the whole thing. You've got to look at the whole package. So what would I always check? On my checklist, paperwork, invoices, what has been done, check the old MOT certificates, ownership history, cold start, oil pressure, very important. Check your oil pressure. Signs of any accident damage. Yes, accident damaged cars. Are they worth it? Because you've got you do have eBay, but of course you've got Copart, and there are many others. And are they worth it? Sometimes they are. Small accident damage, as the price is reduced, but tread carefully. But you do get some bargains. And see if you can look at it before you actually buy it, or look at a detailed description of it. Look at the panel gaps, search for rust. Rust is my biggest bearer of bad news, rust. Look at underneath, look at the wheel arches, inspect under the carpets, boot floor, and if it's a 996, well, get a boroscope or a report. Reports are really good, but 7 questions, which, and why it's 7, because I thought it's 7, and I couldn't think of 8. That I always ask myself or ask the seller is why are you selling? How long have you owned it? What would you repair if you were keeping it? That's quite a good one, because that's like an FBI check. Or special forces. I love the special forces, and the. You see, I've gone off market. I'm hitting my microphone. I apologize. Somebody said I don't speak into the microphone. Well, a number of people have said that. Apologies, and I'm moving it now, so I'll upset somebody again. I apologize. The I like to think that if you're buying an expensive car, take it to a garage that you can trust and inspect it on a lift. If they don't let you, then walk away. Has the car been well maintained? Speak to the garage itself, and it often tells you far more than the car. So a shiny car doesn't necessarily mean it's a good car. Detailed engine bay, okay. So none of these things prove, such as the paint, that it's a good car. Although it's a good idea because you can inspect. Look for the ownership, the original owner, photographs, and honesty. That's one of the most important things. And I'll go back to warranties. Apologies again. I've hit the thing. It's really hot in here, and it's not like dragging me down. But I shall continue. So warranties, they're almost worthless because read every exclusion clause, understand what's covered, and buy with confidence. Insurance. As soon as you've got your car, let the insurance company know that you've bought it. That is one of the biggest mistakes people make. And then they go out and think, and especially if it's a classic car, get an agreed evaluation first and photograph everything. Keep every invoice, keep them stored digitally, and if the worst happens, you've got some paper as well, and you'll be incredibly glad you did. The insurance companies, it's all about the detail. So, Dino's golden rule. If I had 50,000 tomorrow, where would I buy? Where would I buy? I'd buy from a private seller. I buy from a dealer. I buy from an auction. And I'd buy online. So they're all right. There is no wrong answer. But never buy a car from just the venue. Do your homework. And I've bought fantastic cars privately. I've bought fantastic cars at auction. I've sold cars on or over the years on online auctions, and that's been very good. So my conclusion is that before you think about spending your hard-earned money, it should be not a frightening experience. Take your time. Ask questions. Don't be rushed. And remember, the cheapest car to buy is rarely the cheapest car to own. Oh, I love that. It just rolls off the tongue. And that's really it. It's due diligence, and you will find those bargains out there. I don't think there are any more bargains such as, finding an Aston for 50 DB5 for 50,000 anymore. But if you don't look, you will never find. And people often say to me, not necessarily with cars, they ask me, how come you got that deal? Oh, well, that's really good. Oh, you're so lucky. It's none of those things. I work really hard to try and find a deal. And especially nowadays, it takes me so much longer due to various things. But I'm prepared to just chip away, and I keep chipping away, boring myself, boring other people. Oh, I've seen this. Many people switch off. And if you've reached this point, hallelujah, great. Because I'm going to tell you, Dino's deal of the week. It's a Xiaomi jump starter pack. Oh, I sounded a bit Trump then, didn't I? Probably pronounced it wrong as well. It's around £30. It's brilliant. It's a portable jump starter. It's one of those things that you hope you never need, but when you do, you'll be incredibly glad you've got it in the boot. It's a bit, so it'll jump start a large petrol or diesel engine, doubles up as a power bank, which I think is really good, and around 30 quid. It's one of the best value emergency tools that you can have. I'll put a link on at the end of the show, and I'd happily have one of these in my car. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So, because that is a really great deal. I love the fact that, to prepare for the unexpected, it's a really good thing. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, please press subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And share it with fellow car enthusiasts. And I'd genuinely love to hear your experiences. Many people have been putting comments. I do reply to them. It does take me time because there are a lot. Have you brought privately? What's it like through a dealer? If you've got anything extra to add, was online a good place? What's your best experience? Until next time, I'm Dino. Thank you very much for listening. Case closed. Or is it? Thank you. It's Dino under the bonnet. I appreciate you listening.